Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? Well, it is day 11, RPG a Day 2017, August 11th. So let's see what our question is for today. Now that I've forgotten it. Here we go. Which dead game would you like to see reborn? This is kind of an interesting question for me. I had to think about it for a second, and one of the reasons, is because the dead game, so to speak, that I would like to see reborn, well, it already has been reborn. My favorite game, if you haven't figured out from back in the day, was BXD&D, from 1981, Moldvay Cook Marsh D&D, and it has been reborn. I mean, you can get the original, like the PDFs from Wizards of the Coast. You can actually go. There's a BX kind of enthusiast club, and they kind of put the two together. And you can actually order them from Lulu. Get the little things. Order from Lulu. It's got this, like, somebody made a hardback book cover, in other words, or a template for it. So you can get yourself this book that has both of them in it. So that's cool. Or you can get Labyrinth Lord, which is pretty much a direct clone, or Basic Fantasy Role-Playing Game, which is pretty much, it's BX with a couple tweaks and, ascending armor class, that kind of good junk, and, no racist class. Very minimal changes. Or Lamentations of the Flame Princess, which is still BXD&D under the hood. They've done a lot of changes, but still uses that same engine, so to speak. So that doesn't really qualify. It's already been reborn. A lot of the other games that were, out back in the day, well, I didn't really play them. So I don't have the same kind of nostalgia, and in many cases they've already been kind of reborn, resurrected. There's a lot of other games that have come, and gone, and are no longer in print that I just didn't experience. So yeah, I'd heard about the game, and sure, I'd love to see this reborn, so to speak, but it doesn't carry that same kind of weight for me. So I figured I'd answer the question in a different manner, And so I'm going to talk about which game groups, what situations would I like to see reborn. That carries more weight with me. I remember watching some really great videos, like by I think Teff's Tavern. He's talking about getting his old band back together. We're getting the band back together. He's an old group of guys, old group of players. A couple other people talk about that, situations like that, and that was really, really cool. It was very heart touching. Heart touching, heartwarming, whatever the heck it was. It was a really feel good thing going on with it. That's really cool. So there's some people that I would love to get together back, gaming again. And so I couldn't decide. So between two groups, rather. First one is the group of people that I played the Lamentations of the Flame Princess game I talk about quite a bit with. And we were playing from around like 2010, about 2012 is when I stopped playing. And there were 4 of us that were really kind of like the backbone of the group, maybe 5. A lot of other people came in and out. Unfortunately, Mark, the guy from The Sword Is Mine, fame, he's passed away, so can't play with him anymore. Unfortunately, he was a great guy to play with. But there's Joe the attorney, Joe the lawyer, the original game master for that game. There's Joe G, the other Joe who played Brenson the thief. There's Chris, who came in a little bit later, but played another thief, and I believe he started playing this other wizard named Murmur. So these are the guys I would love to play with again, and other people came in and out of the game and didn't really gel, but the 4 of us that are left really kind of gelled, and I believe it's because we kind of were looking for the same experience. We enjoyed the same sort of game experience, the same things. We had a lot of fun playing together, and I wouldn't care if it would be really neat to play something like another OSR clone. Maybe we'll play Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea or something, but it wouldn't matter to me so much about the game as getting those guys back together and playing, because I just had a lot of fun playing with them, and good players, people that you can enjoy playing with, then it's not a struggle. They're worth their weight in gold. So I love to get that group back together again. And I've reached out to him a few times over the past couple of years. The only thing I've got in touch with Chris, actually, and everybody's kind of they're in different areas of the state. People have lives, things are going on. So I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that again. But if I could, have a rebirth of that dead game, I would. That dead group. The other one is going to be a group that I mentioned from time to time that I did actually have a chance to get the band back together a little bit for a one-shot of Lamentations of the Elven Princess. And I played this game on dragonsfoot.org when I first got back in the hobby. So it was either like late 2009, early 2010. I started playing in this first edition D&D game, Play by Post, which I believe this guy Jemabarn is still running it. It's I think every once in a while I'll peek on dragonsfoot.org, and I think that game, you look at Jemabarn's game, Lancers of Lendor's Isle, I believe it's still there, he's still running the damn thing. But I go in there and like I said, we have people go in and out just like it happens in play-by-post games. But there was this core of players, a guy James, and then John and Lynn, husband and wife. I didn't realize they were husband and wife for a little while, and I kind of figured that out. And Nathan, and these were like the core people that I've stayed in touch with and become friends on Facebook with for years. Even after I had to drop out of that game. Just cool, quality people, fun people to game with. Down to earth, not crazy, the whole 9 yards. Just really nice people to game with. And we had a little bit of a, that little one shot was kind of a hoot, but I loved to play, and I wouldn't care what game it was, just getting that group back together. And it wouldn't matter to me whether it was play by post or hangouts or whatever. It would have to be, it's not going to be in person because we're all interspersed throughout the country. Doesn't matter. I just enjoyed playing with those people. So that's another dead game I'd like to see get reborn. Will it ever happen? I don't know. But if I could go back, or if I could have my way, if I could pull all the strings of how the world works, I'd get those true groups back together because I really cherish the time that I spent gaming with them, and I'd love to recreate it. So what about you? Do you have dead games or dead groups that you want to see reborn? What are they?